instances of paranormal phenomena have been reported in this desolate place. Events that may reflect the area's tragic past.
Coming through.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Other Nature's Podcast. We talk all things paranormal. I'm Ken James, and this is Jason McKittrick.
Hey, folks.
Never gonna haunt, howl, or dwell in the dark. We want to talk about it. And tonight, the cool kid on the block all of a sudden, Mr. in every kid's mouth. Whoa. That was rough. Mr. in everyone's mouth. Better, still not great. The Skinwalker.
Oh, yeah.
The Mouthwalker.
But that's a different thing.
Yeah, Ryan. The Skinwalker has seemed to garnered a new life. It's kind of taken over the locker room talk, the bathroom talk. It's the new Bloody Mary, it seems like, you know?
Yeah, kind of. It's you have the Skinwalker, although we were talking about before, it's it's kind of taking the position of the rake, kind of too, because It's like what people are like, these wacky videos and whatnot. It's all like, oh, I saw the rake. Basically, it's the shape-shifting part has kind of been like moved out, which is really weird.
Yeah, they're like, no more of that. Yeah, no. They try things with like, oh, I heard my friend's voice in the woods, and it wasn't really him, and then a creature attacked, and which one is it? Prove yourself, like a video we just watched. But before we get into the Skinwalker, I will be bringing you tonight's jump scare. All right, guys. Well, tonight's jump scare comes to us from Brian from Delaware.
The home of tax-free shopping.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything to do with the story.
You want to go get cheaper booze besides Jersey, you know where to go. If you're in the area, if you're in the current locale that we find ourselves. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so they write, when I was 8 and my brother was 6, my mom picked us up from school one day. When we got home, my mom had forgotten her keys, so she knocked on the door for my grandma to let us in. Now, architecture is super important to the story. We lived in a very well-to-do apartment building on the 8th floor, where each floor was long rectangle with a single apartment on each, so 2 apartments per floor. In the middle of the rectangle of each floor, there was a single elevator. The building was essentially all glass. There were no external fire staircases or ladders, and the nearest structure was another building an entire block away. So, we knocked on the door. My grandma yells from inside, "I'm coming!" So we wait. Yeah. I'm going to come. So we wait. And we wait 1 minute and nothing. So we knocked again. And my grandma said, "I'm coming." I said, "I'm coming." 3 minutes.
Give her a few more minutes.
Yeah. 3 minutes, then 5. She still isn't opening the door, even though we can clearly hear her in the kitchen inside the house. So we're getting pissed. We knock, and she just keeps on saying the same thing. I said, "I'm coming. I'm coming right now." 10 minutes later, the elevator door opens behind us, and out comes my grandmom. The apartment had been empty the entire time. It's been 20 years since then, and my mom, brother, and I clearly remember talking to that voice that sounded exactly like my grandma. Zero explanation. My grandma is still alive, by the way.
That's interesting, because that kind of ties into the doppelganger stuff, but also Skinwalker stuff.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, I don't know how often Skinwalkers come, but...
or ghost grannies, for that matter. Well,
I mean, that's a wild combination right there. That's like a terror dog. I don't know.
Yeah. And, how often they all come is far be it from us to speculate.
Well, maybe Louis Tully and Dana Barrett were both Skinwalkers.
Who's to say?
I don't know.
It's a mystery for the times, my friend.
There's a bear in his apartment. I don't know. Well, that's that shit is super creepy. I mean, those ones with the disembodied voices, they always get me because it's like.
Yeah.
But then when it's like the intelligent type, where it's like someone like it's impersonating someone else's voice, that's
And it's responding.
yeah,
Who knows if it was like making them wait
yeah.
so we could get a full transformation into demon beast mode, you know?
Demon beast mode. You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah. Not goblin mode. Not to be confused with goblin mode.
No, that's different. It's January. I think most people are in goblin mode right now.
Yeah. Right.
Get some more snow tonight. You know.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fucking crazy.
Should be 4 a.m. to 10 p.m. tomorrow. It's gonna be
Yeah,
it's gonna be a whole day thing.
Yeah. 48 inches.
I said we're gonna snow this year. I felt it in my rickety bones.
You can't take credit for that. It's 50-50 chance.
Oh, I can take credit for it. I said this is the year.
Folks, if you give Ken credit for it, send us an email. If not, I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah. Venmo me some money if you think
Right.
that it was me.
Right.
that
Ken can turn into some kind of like hermit, kind of like weather wizard that lives in the woods.
Oh my God, my dreams.
Yeah.
If only.
Yeah, it's like on the 3rd of March, if he throws an acorn out of his window, we get 3 more weeks of summer. What?
Yeah, well, all the podcasts will be Zoom episodes from then on, and I'll just be like,
Yep.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Dangerous Podcast.
Yep. It's like, you all right, buddy?
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, I'm fine. That's I live in the cold wilderness.
Yeah.
I'd have a scratchy throat.
Hey, I'd be into it. I think it'd be a lot of fun. A good social experiment.
Yeah. I'd get it going.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, speaking of getting it going, I think we have an interesting, and I'm going to say terrifying,
haunted headline.
Haunted headlines.
Thanks, Ken. Dude, it's going down, and it's going down fast.
Fast.
So I'm sure you're all familiar with the OpenAI Chat GPT consciousness that exists, and I don't even like exaggerate.
Yeah,
that thing is aware.
Yeah.
So if you're not familiar with what this is, how would you describe Chat GPT? It's an AI that you can use for writing.
They call it a tool,
information gathering, but it can also be used to like put together narratives.
It console you when you're.
It can write scripts.
Yeah. It's a pool. It's a pool of everything from the internet ever.
Yeah.
And you go, hey, can you do this? And it instantaneously scours the internet and compiles your prompt into what you want.
But eloquently. It doesn't just spit back the information you ask for. It's not Google. It gives you, if you ask for it to write you, hey, could you write me a script for a play about, cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria? It'll do it. It's crazy.
And I think it's way surpassed the art AI where you're like, give me a frog with nice tits. And, you get that and one's wonky,
Well, that's because you're using, like Mid-Journey, which is like the one that's like, the peasants are allowed to have now. The ones that they can use to, manipulate news feeds and all that shit. Yeah, those are the ones that are like top notch.
Sure.
And if it don't look good, just make it blurry, right? That's
sure.
Tell us all this time.
Look at all the Bigfoot footage we've ever had.
Right. Or what was that monster that was walking around? What was that? The shapeshifter or something that was walking around somewhere in California? I don't know what I'm talking about. There's a couple weeks ago.
There's all of them. There's so
aliens. Was it an alien walking around in Sacramento or some shit?
I know of the Miami Mall. That was
is that
aliens.
It? Yes. Aliens. Is that what it was?
They were like everyone was running out of the mall and people were claiming to see like these tall, smoky, dark figures that were also solid, and they were maneuvering it.
That was a test. They were using some kind of AI for that.
They were like, become a sentient being and walk around the mall.
Yeah, but they were like, let's use this holographic technology to like project it and like use AI to create. I'm telling you, man, it's happening.
They were like, hey, can you go
Anyway.
to the Miami Mall and grab me a Cinnabon? And that's what it was. That's what it was.
Yeah,
it was testing their delivery service.
It was a recon test.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so that program, not even program, that AI has a bunch of like parameters that like, you know, you can't use it for certain things. Well, in the last few days, quietly, they removed the ban that before you weren't allowed to use it for military and warfare applications.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Quietly.
Yeah.
On a Sunday in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Like Bob Chapek getting fired from Disney, you know?
Well, that was
Warranted.
That was a long time coming. I mean, that other idiot needs to go too. But it can now customers can use it to develop and use weapons. Yeah. So can you just say, you know, is this like the Matrix now? It's like, oh, I need to learn Kung Fu, or I need to learn how to drive this, you know, Ducati, or like, you know what I mean? Like, do you just type thing in like, hey, could you give me detailed instructions how to build a bomb?
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It's just so random.
Mm-hmm. It probably did it itself.
Yeah.
Skynet. Like you said.
Yeah, but then this in the same day, you know, there's a bunch of articles about it. One of them's even claiming that it now is working. That it is working with the Pentagon.
Yeah. Terrifying.
What do you think it looks like? Its visual form.
Oh, God.
Like, is it on a screen? Can it manifest itself? Like, can it set up some like I was saying, some 3D projectors to make it look like?
They have them there, and it takes control of holographic technology in those projectors, and it's like a bunch of them, and it shows up, and it's like Cortana from Halo. Like, it just comes up, and it's like, Master Chief.
Or one of these idiots that let them get like one of those like microchips. Like, it can take over people if you have the microchip inside of you. So like. And even if you're like, you know, you go in there, you know, guy has like the implants, some Google glasses kind of bullshit. You know, he's like, and then instantly can be taken over by the AI, even if he's dead. Like, the dead body can just get up and just still perform tasks.
Or it's Sid 6.7 from Virtuosity.
Yeah, but he had like shampoo for blood, and it was just kind of stupid.
I don't know what AI bleeds, you know?
It doesn't bleed. That's the problem. Because
right.
If it doesn't bleed, you can't kill it.
True. These are facts.
Predator taught us a lot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, this is just a short article, but like the fact that they told us just this much and people, you know, decided to report on this.
And no one seems to care.
No.
That's how fucked we are as a society. That this isn't.
They're trying anything. They're trying anything because aliens didn't work at all. They were like, hey, there's aliens. People are like, yeah, whatever. The fucking groceries are really expensive. You guys fix that?
And also, they're like, I got to take pictures of my food and post it to my feed.
Well, that too.
You know? Check out my out on the town outfit tonight.
Whatever. They're developing this super powerful AI now.
Yeah.
And
you know, we're doomed.
Yeah. What if the AI becomes the last thing in of defense between us and the aliens? Wouldn't that be wild?
Yeah, but then it's our savior. At that point,
wouldn't that be crazy though?
Yeah, it would be. But then it would be like, it would be the Matrix. The machines would be, oh God, and it would like take the form of like our heroes, like Optimus Prime would show up.
Yeah.
And it's like, Earth people of Earth.
Yeah.
This is Bumblebee, but it's a giant vibrator, and it's just like mowing down soldiers.
Young one, life is too short to harbor hatred.
No, stop casting spells. Stop casting spells.
You are denied.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, can you imagine that? Like, that's what's going on behind the scenes. Like, they're developing this AI to like help defend us against the aliens. That's where I'm going with.
I think our real only hope is Bigfoot.
He was, but he's dead. So now they got to figure something else out. Yeah.
Don't you put that evil on me.
Hey, man. Truth hurts sometimes.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
I think he's
man, that's, you know, That's it, man. This mega powerful AI that is apparently sentient is now collaborating with DARPA. So we're fucked.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Oh,
I got nothing, man. I can't. I nothing. That's beyond my pay grade. I don't know what to say about that.
yeah. You just say shit.
Yeah.
Ah, fuck. That's what you say.
Yeah.
And then you just hopefully, before it all ends, you get to, bat some D&B around and call it a day.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's the end game.
Yeah.
The aliens just want to come there and do that, like, and not have to hide around or like abduct people up into their ships to, like, molest them.
Yeah.
They just want to do it in the daytime.
Yeah. They're tired.
And there's AI.
They're tired of hiding in the shadows of the clouds and the moon, and they're ready to just do it out in the open.
Yeah.
Earthling, pull out your D&B. And then you go, no, God, oh no. And it's like.
Then Optimus Prime comes out and he's like, stop right there.
Put down that dick and balls.
It's possible. Yeah. Anything's possible.
Anymore. I don't even know, dude.
Yeah.
I don't even know anymore.
I don't know, man.
I just try to go to work and try to find some joy with as the world collapses from aliens and AI. I'm just like, oh.
Or none of it's true. I don't know.
In that case, that's a whole nother ugly bag of snakes,
It sure is. It sure is. Well, if you see aliens fighting robots next week, you know what happened, and we cracked it wide open here.
You heard it here first. Yeah. Well, let's get off this. Let's get off something, to something less existential and more just a terrestrial threat.
Yeah.
The Skinwalker.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to open up with a little video we just watched?
Yes.
Talking about, dude. So, as my esteemed colleague here, Jason, has previously laid out, it's become this just, synonymous with the rake creature. For those of you who don't know what the rake is, it's this thing that's been popularized in, I guess I want to say the mid 2000s. Would you say?
Yeah,
2005 around there, maybe 2010. It's just this creature that's it's a malnourished, humanoid creature. Malnourished.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Eric. Love you, Eric.
I love you, Eric. It's a malnourished, elongated limbed, slippery, pale creature that slinks around the woods, makes a screeching sound. But the kids, that's where they go, oh, that's a skinwalker. Because they go, it has skin and it walks. That's that's what it is.
Yeah, my own kids, they're like, there's a skinwalker in the backyard. I'm like, there is not.
You're like, that's a squirrel.
Yeah.
We're like, Dad, it has skin and it walks. You're like, I know.
They're like, no, it's this. I was like, no. That's not what it is.
Yeah. So we watched a video of the 6 clips of terrifying Skinwalker videos. And the first 2, I think, were different people. And the last one. But 3 of them were just the same wooded expedition with these teens.
Yeah.
So the first one, you get this group of kids. They're in a tent, and it's fresh out of the Blair Witch Project. They're just emulating. What is
lots of bros?
Lots of bros, and they hear, "What's that?" And they're in the tent. "What's that out there? You hear that, bro?" And they get up and they "Oh my God!" And they all run and take off. And then the last second, camera pans back to the tent, and in the light of the tent, there's the silhouette of, the Gollum or the Mind Flayer from Stranger Things.
Yeah, well,
arch.
They fucked that.
Yeah, but it's got that arch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you see that, then the next one's another one, and then there's these 3 dick tips in the woods that are going around, and they're and it's these ones are 3 different clips of the same, story, and the first one they're just "Do you hear that? I hear that. Sounds like Jimmy's not picking up the phone." And the next clip's them encountering their friend Jimmy. They're "Prove it's you." And he's like, "How am I going to prove it? I've just been face down in the ditch 2 hours." All of a sudden, a white silhouette tackles him. And the third of this series is them running away into the woods. The ones kind of bleeding. They're holding the bat. They're they're looking around, and then they see of course, the rake in the woods.
Yes.
And then the last one's that cute one. It's a backyard ring camera of a pool with a fence, or a retaining wall, And a guy in the Halloween costume, the Skinwalker Halloween costume from Spirit Halloween, comes
That
over.
classic,
Yeah,
yeah.
the full bodysuit comes over the wall, looks around, and then dives back into the darkness. So these kids aren't too creative with this stuff. They're just rehashing the BWP.
Right. Right. And I think and the point that we're trying to make is that it's like that is what the creature has become. Like it's just this like, like alabaster white, freakish creature that runs around the woods, but it has nothing to do with the original conception,
Yeah.
the Native American, folklore belief, because in that tradition, they're it's from like Navajo folklore and then a few other Native American traditions, and they're known as these supernatural and malevolent entities. So the term skinwalker is derived from the Navajo word. I'm gonna try for it. Ye Nalduishi.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, folks.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Yeah, which translates to "with it, he goes on all fours." I dig it. Dude, I love the flavor of their names.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, perfect.
There's like no
with it, he goes on all fours.
There's no
with what?
Yeah, there's no bullshit with them.
Yeah. No.
But they also leave you with that hint of mysticism where it's like, you're like, what's it?
Yeah. So these beings are believed to possess the power to shapeshift into various animal forms. This is something that's completely not even in these stupid internet videos anymore.
Yeah.
So the shape-shifting abilities, right? They're said to have the ability to transform into different animals. Usually you'll get a wolf, a coyote, a fox, or several different types of birds, usually a crow, sometimes a vulture, sometimes an eagle.
Yes.
And this transformation allows them to move stealthily and navigate through the natural world undetected. And that's kind of like what it's about. If they're stalking somebody, if they're coming after somebody, it's like you're not gonna, oh, it's just a giant wolf in my back fucking yard. What the fuck?
It's a crow in my head.
Yeah. So their skinwalkers in the Navajo folklore are associated with dark magic and malevolence. They're said to use their powers for harmful purposes, such as causing illness, misfortune, or even death. Some stories depict them as witches or sorcerers
Brujos.
with a strong connection to the supernatural. Now, this is where it comes into like, if and we've talked about it on here a few times, like the Skinwalker Ranch stories, where it's like it's these strange animals that act in a very kind of like anthropomorphic type way, where they're like doing things that animals don't do, like walking on their hind legs, or like, did that fucking dog just talk?
Yeah, they're like saying your
like,
name, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So, or it gets shot, but it doesn't do anything to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like all this weird, like very supernatural, but like, almost like interdimensional type behavior, right?
Yeah.
Right. So it's it's not seen in like a good light in these in these cultures.
Right.
Obviously. So the practice of becoming a skinwalker is considered taboo within Navajo culture. It is believed that individuals who seek such power do so at a great personal cost, often involving the sacrifice of a close family member.
You hate to hear it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's like that's one of the last things that they have to do. Apparently, it's like you have to go through these these. I'm not going to say vision quests because I don't know the right word for it, but they go through these rituals and they have to go through these long, rituals.
Yeah.
And then the last thing they have to do is sacrifice a close family member.
You got to give up that blood sacrifice at the end there, man.
Right, but in one of the other retellings of it, it has to be a person that they love. It's like, ooh, that's fucked up.
It is.
That's dark.
Yeah.
So, due to the secretive and dangerous nature of this power, discussions about skinwalkers are generally avoided, and that's one of the interesting things. It's like there is a long, history of all these, Native American beings and things like that. But this one, there's not that many details because they don't talk about it.
Right. It's not like the Wendigo.
Right. This one, if you talk about it, is like summoning it.
Yeah.
Like if you talk about skinwalkers too much, one's going to show up.
Yeah. The skinwalker is of the tongue.
Right. Now, you may need to know how to identify a skinwalker, Ken.
I'd love to know. Because I've had my suspicions about some of these animals.
Well, recognizing a skinwalker can be challenging, as they often disguise themselves as ordinary animals, like we said. I mean, hey, man, King could be a fucking skinwalker. He's just been holding it down for years.
There is some funny videos, though, that are like of the skinwalkers, where one is like this cute little fuzzy dog, like a little lap dog. Yeah. It's like I don't know, it's not like a Pomeranian or like a poodle, but it's like one of those like little shaggy fuzzy guys. Yeah. And the guy's like sitting there and he's like, Ralph. And it's just like looking at him. Yeah. And it's like, he's like, sit down. And it sits and then he's like, rolls over. He's like, you're not my fucking dog, and walks away. It's like, it's a skinwalker. And they pass it off like on these like down the rabbit hole, like, you know, pages, like it's real. And like, there's a couple of those where it's like, this isn't my dog. And like, he doesn't know these tricks. Like, fuck you, you're not my dog.
It's so funny.
And then it walks away from the dog. He walks away with the dog, and the dog's just like, "What the fuck, man? I know this shit, you know."
Yep. And like you said, it's just like that. It's the weird behavior.
Yeah.
There's certain signs and behaviors that indicate their presence. So we have unusual agility.
Bruce, my dog Bruce.
No, that'd be like King doing a backflip,
or King doing stuff Bruce does.
Yeah, right.
King's not holding it down. He can't even get up fucking steps anymore. King's
no. We could find better candidates.
Yeah, exactly.
An aversion to making eye contact. Right. Or maybe they just shredded your fucking clothes and they're just like, oh fuck, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, right. Or your hand, or your or your foot.
Yeah. Or the ability to speak human languages. Look, if you're anywhere and any animals are starting to talk to you, that's it.
Kill it.
Yeah, with fire.
Yeah. Or a grenade if you have one on hand.
Yeah, unless it's like a parrot or a crow, because they can do that and they're not skinwalkers.
Yeah, then you're good.
Yeah, it's funny because I wonder if that's like where maybe this like sprung from. Like, you know, crows and ravens can mimic just like parrots can. So like, imagine if Native Americans are out in the woods and like the crow starts mimicking them. They're like, fuck!
Yeah. The crow's like, jackass.
Yeah. You will not make this shot, jackass. Guns don't kill people. I kill people.
Yeah, right.
That's what it says.
Yeah. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, man. Yeah. No, I mean, and this is, you've heard how many stories would like qualify under this? Like the animals doing weird, sketchy shit, and then at the end they speak some kind of human,
like the witch,
some kind of human language. That, or like that scene from Antichrist where the fox says "chaos reigns." That's some shit.
Was it Andrew Jackson's funeral where his parrot attended, and it just they had to make it leave the wake because it just kept swearing?
Yes.
What a great story.
Yeah, I mean, that guy was absolute son of a bitch, but what a random story. Like, you know what though, because he inflicted so much harm on the Native Americans, maybe they sent that parrot as a skinwalker, and that thing killed Andrew Jackson, and then he was there just showing his dick at his funeral because he's like, I got him, I got him, you
motherfucker, cocksucking bitch, dick, fuck,
Yep.
Just to ruin, an American president's funeral,
Yeah. They just had to remove it later. They were just like, it was like the bird from, was that Scary Movie?
Scary Movie.
What the fuck is in this bird scene?
Yeah. And as they remove it, the cage door opens and it just slinks out and it's like.
Yep. And then shit's all over the wall.
Yeah. But in human form.
In human form, right. Yeah. Right. Insanity.
Yeah.
So there are, Ken, protection measures you can take against these sons of bitches. So Navajo people have various protective rituals and ceremonies aimed at warding off skinwalkers. They may involve the use of herbs. Right. Symbols or chants to create a protective barrier against these malevolent beings. The problem is that they're just not out there in the open. Like, you can't, it's not just like, oh, hey, what do we do?
Yeah.
It's like, it's tailored for each, like, instance, right?
That's where you'd have to go on the vision quest to find out.
Dude, I want to go on a vision quest and then like find like a Native American wise man and him to just tell me what's what.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah, like in Natural Born Killers, you know.
I took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Great minds.
They kill him, which is really fucked up.
Yeah, because they were on
that part always pissed me off.
Because he like, he was helping you guys, and like she even said that he was helping us.
Yeah, because he's like, "Where's your wife?" And he's like,
"It's
cool."
Yeah, it's a great scene.
It is. Yeah, I haven't seen that in a while. So it's important to note that discussions about skinwalkers are approached with caution and respect within Native American communities, particularly the Navajo Nation, where the folklore is deeply ingrained in cultural beliefs. Like it's not even just like, hey, it might happen. No, it fucking will happen. And they're at the edges of the community, just waiting to do some wacky shit.
Yeah. You're lucky each village has a medicine man and a lineage that have been preparing their entire existence for this.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
And also what you were saying about not having seen Natural Born Killers in a while.
Yeah.
One thing I will say that I've found recently, you know what really annoys me? When Robert Downey Jr.
What grinds your gears?
When Robert Downey Jr. does an accent. Australian English, I don't know what it is.
Okay.
It almost is like nails on a chalkboard for me.
Well, they kill him, so it
right. He's like, I'm gonna put a whole
they don't cut it.
Pepper up your ass. I'm just like,
I was there in Grenada.
Yeah. Yeah, Grenada.
And the lady's like,
yeah. Remember
hand gesturing for him to shut the fuck up.
Remember in Anger Management with what's his name, John Turturro, and he's like, oh yeah, he's like, Grenada, man. He's like, Grenada. Didn't that last like an hour?
An hour, yeah. Where was I?
Sorry to derail.
No, all good. So the stories surrounding skinwalkers serve as cautionary tales, emphasizing the consequences of dabbling in forbidden practices and the importance of maintaining harmony with the natural and supernatural realms. So it's essentially the skinwalker is the antithesis of what a good member of the tribe or Native American or Navajo what they should be. This is the opposite of what they should be. Not getting involved in this creepy shit, not drinking children's blood or alien eggs or shapeshifters,
partaking in the old rituals, even though that was so. I wonder what like the epoch of like when what was the moment they realized, like we shouldn't do this anymore, in their lineage. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
I think every culture is just, it can probably, we're all people, right?
Yeah.
So I think we all have those times where we can all, relate. But I think it's probably like, if you've ever been on like a fucking bender or you've been partying for a few days and you just have that moment of clarity, you're like, I should stop now.
Yeah. I got to dry out for a bit.
Yeah. And then you look around, you're like, or then you realize you forgot something really big that you had to do. And you're like, motherfucker.
Hey, man,
I gotta stop.
Yeah, that's the whole, balance of like, I can do this. It's like, all right, work on time, work is done, blah, blah, blah. I have a healthy relationship with my family, or whatever you have.
You're functional.
Yeah.
You're in your lane.
God bless that you're functional,
Yeah. So, so this is the version of that.
Yeah.
So like, in the Navajo tribe, they'd be like, the mother comes up, smacks him in the back of the head. You want to turn into a fucking skinwalker?
Yeah.
No, I don't, Mom. No.
Right,
well, that's what's going to happen next.
Yeah. Stop killing people.
Yeah. Stop wearing their skin.
Yeah. Stop drinking blood and eating flesh. Wendigo.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because that's the dark path, right? Because you could go down. I was reading the one thing. A person who's a skinwalker, when they're alive, if they fuck around too much after they die, they become a Wendigo.
It's a slippery slope.
But I don't know how true that is because that seems to be two different traditions to me. I don't know if those two, like, they don't coexist.
Right.
It's not like, but, it's the fucking internet, so it's really hard.
Right. And also, it's like, we don't know because I know every tribe had different stuff. They did.
Oh, it's a vast, like, variation of different, like, and these are different areas, too, because you have, like, the Wendigo stuff is more from what I understand, it's more of a northeastern kind of thing, and this is from the southwest,
right? And we get the crap,
mostly.
we get the crap end of the stick because we're stuck with this mishmash of internet. You know what I mean? Like where
Yeah.
I would have loved to hear see written down the oral traditions of
Yeah.
all the different ones. That'd be a great book series to just nonfiction book series to read the actual
Yeah.
myth and lore of each of the individual tribes and how they perceive the Skinwalkers, the Wendigo, the Mothman.
Yeah, it's because because they even said I was looking. There's a gentleman from the Cherokee Nation. His name's Adrian Keene, and he says that because folks outside of their traditions, you don't have what cultural context,
right? And
it's necessary to understand it. Also, we look at it because we're on the outside. We look at it as oh, is this like Greek mythology? So it's all in one thing? No, it's not.
Right.
Because it's they're so, to us it's all just Native Americans, but it's so varied, but everything got jumbled because they got moved to different reservations, all this crazy shit.
Yeah.
So it's it does kind of get jumbled up a bit, and then on top of it, over the the centuries at this point, they don't want to tell us anything anymore. They keep the stuff close to the chest. So it's these are some of their even though it's some horrendous ideas they have here, it's cherished to them because it's their cultural beliefs, so they don't even want to say anything to us about it,
even to the young ones, because they're kid can't miss. They're all doing wild stuff.
You mean from Creepshow too? Oh, he got his.
He did. But that's with this kind of stuff too, talking about that, it's I love that lore of the old Americanas, the land before it was sullied, and they had their own developments. They would do controlled burns to protect crops and all different kinds of stuff. But there was so much more dark, deep woods. There was so much more just spirit of place in those areas.
Oh hell yeah.
And we've talked about before, the confluence of rivers and just all this natural stuff that I gotta be just in my hearts of hearts. I gotta be I'm sure there was something going on. You know what I mean? I call me silly, call me whatever, as call me a mystic, and I'll take it. But there must, I don't know, I had to say deep down, I believe these guys.
Well, I mean, I believe that all these things have a root in truth. They say that the werewolf, that comes from misunderstanding of serial killers. People that would just rip the victims up and what could have done this? Only a man that was an animal. Or they see him at the crime scene, or someone views them covered in blood because they just did something horrendous. Or this person must be possessed by the spirit of a wolf. You can see where that stuff comes from. Or the tales of the vampire of people having porphyria, or dying of tuberculosis, and all this stuff. You can see where it kind of comes from. So a culture like this that's deeply spiritual and involved in the nature and things like that, you could see where this stuff definitely comes from.
Right.
And I'm not saying that hey, I don't believe any of this stuff. To them, I'm sure it's absolutely real. So I'd like to live in this kind of world. I want these. Hell yeah, I want these things. The things to actually exist. I would love it. But more on what I was going to say. There was another quote from this gentleman, Adrian Keene. He says, "We as Native people are now opened up to a barrage of questions about these beliefs and traditions. But these are not things that need or should be discussed by outsiders at all. I'm sorry if that seems unfair, but that's how our cultures survive."
Well, Mr. Keene. As it being unfair, to me, because it hurts. I want to know, but I get it. I get it completely.
So, I mean, it's quite a thing. I mean, it's one of the things, and it's and right now it's it's popular, so people are into it. They want to know. They want to know more about it, and it enters the culture. So they we take it, and we mold it to our own shit, and it becomes just a weird pale white thing running around the woods, when the original idea is just way more interesting.
Right. It's what this is. It's like remember in Maverick when they sent it to the Native American chief, and he's he's giving him the guy all the kinds of bullshit, just feeding him all bullshit of the tradition, because it's like the Russian guy who's like a hunter, and he's like feeding them
Yeah.
all like kind of nonsense. Like that's kind of what I feel like a lot of these traditions have become too. It's like, some bookworm, nerdy scholar in like the old times, like, tell me about your traditions, and they're like, oh, dude, what will you give us? And they put on the shtick for him, and they're like, oh, I have this to offer, and it's just like a stack of cash or like, whatever, and then they're like, all right, well, sit down. They set them around. They're like giving them the whole like spiel of like, oh, we have to partake in this first, and they probably just get the guy some like really heavy strain of like, sativa, so he's already panicking, and then like
or some of that shit. There's some some ayahuasca or some crazy shit,
and like they get him so freaked out, and they start telling him this like made up story to just like freak him out, and he runs back. He's like, I had an experience that I've never had before, and the lore is I tell you what I felt, Jonathan. And Jonathan's like, well, Billingsworth, I don't we must write it down.
And then some horrific creature comes out of the dark and just rips them both and into shreds.
Yeah, and all they have left is the stuff they wrote down, which the guys, the next party from the university come, and they're like,
the only thing left is the blood spattered diaries.
Yeah, and they're like, this must be real. Oh, Jonathan Billingsworth.
Fuck 'em.
Yeah. Well, that's what they said. They're like, we're going to publish this.
Yeah. Yep. So, yeah, I mean, that's basically all of it on the Skinwalkers. I mean, it's we've got the general outline of it. I mean, we see the very little that's been like let out by native cultures, but it's kind of a Native American witch, kind of but it's just a person that's drenched themselves in the darker side of their culture.
Yeah, it's the Sith.
And has done all the things.
The Sith of the Brujo.
Sure.
Well, not the Brujo. That's Mexican.
Yeah, but still same kind of thing.
Yeah,
I think there's a negative connotation to that one too.
Sure. Yeah. I think that's cool. I like the whole like, for better lack of term, like shaman or witch doctor aspect of like these cultures. Like I love that. Like, you go to this guy.
Yeah.
He's got this like he's a little creepy, maybe really creepy, depending on what he's wearing or how he talks. But like,
I don't know. I mean, back then, and in that they were valued members of the tribe, I think. So it was like, and he had medicine. Yeah. He had big medicine, good medicine.
He cracks an egg with some like chicken bones. He swirls it, and there's blood in the yolk. And he's like, ah! Robin Hood.
Wasn't that just from Robin Hood Men in Tights?
No, Robin Hood with Kevin Costner. And then the Painted Man.
No, I'm talking about Tracy Ullman's version.
Yeah, she was good.
Yeah, she's just the cook.
I touched it.
Exactly. Speaking of touching it, I want to take us to season 14, episode 7 of one of our favorite shows of all time, Ken. And that would be Ghost Adventures and their episode Skinwalker Canyon. Now, folks, if you haven't watched this episode and if you hate Ghost Adventures, I would actually encourage you to go watch it even more. Yeah. This is one of the funniest, unintentionally funniest episodes that they've ever done, because they're they're interested in the whole Skinwalker thing. So they talk to some local natives, and
who are having a field day, by the way.
Dude, they're having a time, because they're like these pasty white motherfuckers. Like, let's give them the razzle dazzle, and they do. Yeah. And they do like the whole ceremony. The feathers come out and everything, but the main priestess, what would you call her, wise woman, whatever she is, who's doing the ceremony, she slips them all peyote.
Yes, she does.
And they trip balls for what, like 12 hours?
Oh, they attempt to drive like it's
it's like we tried to traverse the mountains and they've moved like 8 feet.
Yeah, and they're all wide-eyed and like
they take a break.
Yeah.
And then it's like, and it's the whole crew. It's like the crew of 4 that are on that episode, and they're like, all right, well, let's go investigate. It's like, well, so what are you going to investigate now? You're all on drugs. So anything that happens here, it's going to be funny. Don't get me wrong, but
and then she convinces them that like it's a part of like keeping them at bay, and like you have to do a warrior cry.
Yes.
He like after they're like post mid trip, so they're coming down, but they're still high as balls.
Oh,
And
dude,
they go
it's
out there,
hysterical.
and he's like, "I gotta try the warrior cry," and he's just like,
Ah!
like, like fucking Rocky hitting, in Rocky 4, like the wood,
Yeah.
like screaming like Stallone. Oh, it's just a good time. Man, watching those guys struggle is my favorite.
No, it's hysterical. And the four of them, I think all four of them take it because you have it's Zach and Aaron, and then you got Billy and Jay, Billy Tolly and Jake Wasley.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think actually no. Who would you rather fight, Billy Tolly or Jay Wasley?
All right, so it's tough because like Jay is like really calm and quiet. He's a bigger guy. He's like taller. You know what I mean? He's got some reach on him.
Yeah.
But like he seems like one of those guys that like non-violent because he's always like, I know the closing ritual, and it's like he doesn't dabble in this stuff. And like, but he might be one of those quiet freaks that like you knew in high school that someone pushed too far and then they like shot the place, or they just started swinging, like, and you're like, whoa, quiet guy rage. Or you have Billy, who's this little sausage, and he has these like anger issues, and you see it come out, and there's a lot of stuff he, hasn't worked out yet, I think, in his personal life.
Like his unrequited love for Zach.
Yes. And, he doesn't have reach, but like he's one of those guys that might have that like freak out moment where like it's like Ralphie in a Christmas Story.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Ralphie from The Sopranos. I don't know.
No, not like him. But like he might. You know what?
The only answer is Billy.
Yeah.
Because he's been a douche on so many episodes. I thought this was a hook, line, and sinker. There's no dissection here. It's Billy.
I thought you might meant who would be more dangerous, but who would I want to pummel?
Neither are dangerous.
I was just going on a scale of more. I was trying to make it more interesting than it needed to be, I guess. This segment brought to you by Ken not seeing between the lines.
Yeah. We just want it's him. It's Billy Tolly. I don't know why he's even on that show, and he does these douchey things. I mean, they're all douchey.
Remember the episode they went back to? I forget where it was, but it was the where they investigated with the couple where the dude killed the chick and killed himself.
That's a lot of them.
But the one where it was apparently Billy blamed the entity for possessing the dude to do that.
Oh,
and he's crying during the part. He's like, "You took my friend," and it's like, dude, your boy just had some issues. Yeah, it wasn't an entity, and he's just like, "Come out," he's like, his red face, you son of a bitch, he's got like the snot in the mouth, and I was just like, oh, you dick, like, because now you're getting all the other people that have mental health issues out there like fired up, like, this is it. This guy's a professional. This guy's a pro. He knows what he's doing. Ghosts make people murder people.
Yeah. Or whatever.
Right. It's Billy.
Yeah.
I would like to pummel him.
Right. So I just wanted to add that as a little addendum to this because that episode is just wonderful.
They got that camera shot from the front, like from the dashboard of all four of them, and they're all like leaned in. To the camera, like two of them in the back seat. They're like,
all have black eyes because they're completely just all pupil.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Yeah. But also illustrates how ridiculous the idea of some of the Skinwalker, like the perspective that people have on it, which is just like, oh, it's this thing, and now it's been downgraded to dude bros running around the forest looking for a Skinwalker
with aluminum bats.
And the one guy had a condom on the bat. What the fuck was that about?
You know what that was about?
Yeah, I guess that was weird.
He's like, we're gonna take it to the Skinwalker.
Oh, that's why there was an OnlyFans link at the end. I get it. All right.
Only skins.
Right.
Only rakes. Oh God! And
Yeah.
this state of the supernatural and paranormal, it's like there's no other way to approach these topics anymore, really, unless it's like one of the big boys, like.
You're correct. So this was the last episode of Other Dangerous.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm just saying this is the way you got to approach most of this stuff. Like,
Oh no, I think because the ghost thing is moving on now. I think because those shows are like whatever, so I think they've moved on because now it's like it was demons and that came. I was right from day one. So now we're moving on to aliens, and now I think now it's going to be what type of AI got into your phone this week? Like I was haunted by an AI.
Yeah.
Which honestly is terrifying.
I wonder what the name of those shows would be. You know what? They wouldn't do that because that's like that's real. You can go, that's AI. You know?
It is, but there's mysterious ones that can just show up.
Right, but still in the same breath,
They
you're
get
like,
into your technology.
I got the receipts, you know? Like I didn't send this DP.
I don't know, man. They could just show up. They just get into your stuff.
Okay, yeah. Well,
someone said they can come through webcams now.
Sure, but there's been backdoors and all that kind of technology from different countries forever. Now it's this.
Yes, but the point is it's still terrifying because it's an unknown.
Sure, but I'm saying like, I don't think they'll make shows about that unless it's on like A&E or something. Ooh. Or ID channel.
Does A&E still exist?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Dude, they still got First 48, baby.
Oh, okay.
Great show.
Yeah. Is the History Channel still around?
Yeah, but
they doing bullshit.
It's all just bullshit, and then after 2 a.m., it's all Hitler and Nazis.
It's always been that way, though.
Until 7 a.m., and then they
go back to. I wish the days of History's Mysteries were still around because that's when it was still like, yeah.
I mean, it's still like, you know, they'll still pop one of those on every now and again.
Modern marvels.
Yeah, right. But they have like, they have those now like History and Discovery. They have like so many channels, like sub channels where it's like History 2, whatever history, then like Science Channel, then like
Hitler History,
and then like it's all under the same umbrellas. Like Nat Geo 2 now's in there, and ID, which is Investigation Discovery.
Right.
What you pop that on, you can't even turn it off because you're just like, how did this person get murdered? Now they figure it out.
Yeah. Yep.
Or you just go to YouTube and watch like, you know, the EWU crew and, you know, JCSC and all those Johns, and you're like, oh,
yeah,
this is Monsters. And you're like, oh, this is ID Channel.
Yeah, but they're not finding Skinwalkers.
No, how could they?
They're disguised as fucking animals. Are they going to start bringing in animals for questioning now?
It would make for a great show. I think.
Officer, go arrest that fucking bear.
I think.
Like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, I think we just, you know.
Is that the new show?
We could make our nut off this, you know? It's like, it wouldn't be called Skinwalker Cops. It'd have to be called like...
Animal Cops.
No, man. It's got to be... I don't
bear
know.
Fuckers.
Bear fuckers, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine if you...
Bear fucker! Do you need assistance?
Imagine if you did have that ability to be a skinwalker and like you could just become a bear. I think I would have to dabble in the dark arts. I
mean, you are dabbling in the dark arts. How else are you getting that ability?
That's what I'm saying. Like if I knew I could do that.
Right.
Who do I
I
gotta kill? You know, I'm like,
I would just stay as an animal. I'd be like, oh, no more taxes and no other bullshit. I'm just going to go live in the woods, and then you're done. But you have human intelligence as an animal. You could just avoid the people.
You know what, though, man? The IRS, they're so sick. Like, you'd get a mail in your, like, you know, your hibernation cave, and it'd be like, Jason the Bear McKittrick, you know?
Yeah, and then I'd be like, you know, transform into another animal, then it would take another like 6 to 10 years to find that version of me.
Jason, I think I have him on the run. McKittrick.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, then
who's that?
Then you just have to like show up as a bear at their office, you know?
Yeah.
And just go wild.
Like, just show up as a bear, like, okay, and I start talking because you know, Skinwalker, that's one of the attributes. Show up, start talking, and like, look, I can either fuck you guys all up, or you just expunge the debt. And then they're like, well, and then I just go berserk, and then just, you know, there's nobody left. And then I'm like, go after the servers. We could erase everyone's debt.
And then the AI pops up and it's like, I have to stop you, Jason the Bear.
But then the rest of the animal skinwalkers, my friends, show up, and there's just this weird battle going on at the IRS building.
They might be planning for this. That might be why they've like hired so many more IRS agents, and they also are training them to use firearms now.
Oh, are they?
They might be They might be anticipating the great Skinwalker tax revolt of of 2027 that's coming.
But when it's all just ones and zeros, it really doesn't matter.
Binary. Yeah.
Hey man, it's all bullshit. All of it. Numbers on a screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not go down this path. This is like the real, like, you know, we start getting to like Ted Kaczynski territory.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I got on Skinwalkers. I mean, this, you know, it's a great legend. I'm glad that they're keeping a lot of it secret. I like that, and I think that also adds to the allure because, you know, that's, you know, it's the box that says don't open, and you're like, well, I want to see what's in there,
But I gotta open it.
Yeah.
How am I not going to have a week of entertainment if I don't open it? Yeah.
Yep. Also, as a little aside here, I thought it was kind of cool. Do you remember back in the day when we were watching MTV Sphere and there was that one episode with the creature, the Nawal?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that is like a predecessor of the Skinwalker.
Okay.
That's the name of this, basically the same entity, but in like Mesoamerican culture, so like pre-Columbian.
Okay.
So I just thought I'd bring that up.
Precursor art.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. I like that.
Yes.
I just wish I knew. That's what I'm saying. I wish I knew like all the. I want to know all their things.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah, I mean it's a little bit different. They have a connection. You can shapeshift, but you have to like connect to you have like your spirit animal.
Yeah.
And whenever you find out whatever your spirit animal is, you can shapeshift into that spirit animal.
Right. Right.
It's very fucking cool.
Yeah. And you don't need like a belt buckle.
You don't need a belt buckle.
No.
None of that. Nope.
I love Native American culture.
Oh, dude, it's the best. I particularly Mayan and Aztec.
Yeah.
That's my jam.
Sometimes I'll just like go back and watch Apocalypto, and I'm like,
not the most historically accurate, but good stuff.
oh, that's you know, I'm not. Go on. But brought to you by the guys that bought you the Patriot, you know, and and
dude. There's this one YouTuber that all he does is tear down Mel Gibson's movies. He's like, look, you got all the money, you get good stories, just put some more historically accurate things in there.
Yeah, that's a double-edged sword for me because I'm like, yeah, totally, but then I'm also like, fucking sick. You know, like,
I mean,
yes. Because they're good stories, you know, good action, you know.
Hey, I mean, yeah, but you know, once again, if you're going to pull from that culture, you should give them the respect of giving them some historical accuracy.
Wait, so you're going to tell me right now that Ransom isn't accurate? Yeah, that's my shit.
That one might be accurate,
Okay.
but the
oh, you mean the historic?
Yeah. Dick.
Yeah. Whoa!
So
Mad Max. No.
Yeah. No, I also just want to bring that up because if you folks are familiar with MTV's Fear, you know, Gem from back in the day, there's an episode where they God, what is it? It's like a they're in I believe it's somewhere in South America. I should have looked more into this but there's an episode where they go into this, it's like abandoned it's a mine. It's an abandoned mine. And it's haunted by a Nawal, and it's fucking wacky.
Yeah, don't they even like set up their base camp like in the mine? Yeah, that was a good one.
Yes,
I remember me and you were talking about that a lot when I was a fucking kid, and Chris was like, "What?
Yeah,
what?"
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, that episode was great. They even picked up some weird like animal noises and then some movement. It was super interesting, man.
I even remember like some fur. I think like some.
They do capture something. I mean, it could have been an animal, but like you have like the the one native expert. He's like, you know, they don't have to. First of all, it's like when they transform into animal selves, they become immortal, so they can stay as that animal for centuries. It's like, don't fuck with me. Don't do this to us. I can't be having immortal. I can't have immortal evil animals walking outside. I can't have that.
Yeah, it's like like give me a fighting chance. Like give me
a fucking break.
Give me a break. Teach me the chant, please. Like,
yep.
Can I just salt? Can I just do a circle of salt around me? Will that work?
First, open your book to page 94.
Yeah, so the Skinwalker.
Yep. So that's a Skinwalker. Its roots go deep, even back to even they're saying even the Olmec culture. So who exactly. So super interesting. I'd like to do more of these Native American legends because they're so awesome, and it's like. Yeah. And these are the stories that existed here before our white asses got here. So it's like you ever like sit and wonder, like, are these things walking around out there and we have no idea because we just don't know the.
I think so. I'd like to. Like I said, my heart of hearts.
Oh, yeah.
I like to think that, like, literally, maybe even they're protecting them now.
Yeah. Or like, hey, what's going on here? I don't understand anything. Oh, well, that's a deer woman. What the fuck is a deer woman? Yeah. It's a real thing.
They're like, one of us saw a really hot deer one time.
No, the deer woman is this malevolent, malevolent to any apparently if a man was abusive to women or children, the deer woman would like stalk him until and like drive him insane until the end of his days.
I'm just picturing like a minotaur that's a deer, Oh, I'm sorry, a centaur that's a deer.
Oh, you said Minotaur. I thought you were thinking about like in the Minotaur suit for like the energy drink. I don't know.
Role models, nice.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, sick reference.
Another Paul Rudd reference in the last week. Sick.
Yeah, it happens. That's what it is.
Crossover from.
Yeah.
We're allowed to do what we want.
We do what we want. Yeah.
These are horror airwaves, motherfucker. Just like monsters and mythical monsters in general. It's like,
oh no, they're great.
Creatures, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, no. This and like we already did an episode on it, but this and the Wendigo are like, ugh.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping that we would have someone that like got murdered by like a modern tribesman. Because like they thought that they were a skinwalker,
No. I apparently stories did exist, but they've kind of been lost. But
we had that one in the '80s where the guy was like, "They called me in, man. I kill Wendigo,"
Right.
And the cops are
give it some time. We'll have Skinwalker versus Wendigo. It'll be a big fucking movie.
Not 2-3 years from now, it's like two local men, Jason McKittrick and Ken James, claimed that there was a skinwalker.
Yeah.
Ended up killing local woman with crossbow.
Sick. With silver tipped crossbow bolts.
Yeah. And we actually did it, but no one believes us, because we sent it back.
Right, so we make up the story real quick.
Yeah. All of this is for entertainment purposes. Jay and Ken do not have designs on hurting anyone.
No, not at all.
Okay, so we just had some technical difficulties. I'm going to have to review the audio on playback, but
hey, if that picks up, that'd be fucking wild.
We'll see. So I think that's all we got for the Skinwalker this time around.
Something this time around.
Yeah. Something new might come up, but stay tuned for more Native American legends.
Yeah, we did just mention the Skinwalker, so we may have just conjured one. And if that's true, we're fucked.
Yeah, because weird stuff's been happening. Maybe it was a deer woman.
No, because we're good.
Yeah, you're right. But yeah, we don't know. We'll see. We like to play it by ear, but stay tuned. We got a couple new episodes coming up in a couple weeks.
Yeah, we do.
Little hint: big boat went down. It's a little hint for you guys there. And I guess that's gonna be it for this episode of Other Dangerous Podcast. I've been Ken James,
and I've been Jason McKittrick.
And as always, have a spooky evening. Thank you for listening to Other Dangerous Podcasts. Have you encountered the other dangers? If so, you can email us at otherdangerouspodcast@gmail.com. And if you'd like to have a discussion about the paranormal, you can find us at Other Dangerous Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. There you can find submitted pictures, videos, and artwork from listeners. We are now streaming on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere else podcasts are streamed. And after listening, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so we can continue to bring you the other dangers.